Hello everyone, and welcome to a kind of video I generally try to avoid, both in my viewing and as a creator, which is booktube videos about booktube. I tend to find these videos tedious. I just don't like watching them. I come to booktube for videos about books, whether that is TBRs or hauls or book reviews or book discussions. I love it all. However, I was tagged by KD Books in a book tag that does not have a title. It's just called Book Tag the Sequel. But all of the questions are about your experience as a creator. You know, I'm doing Vlogmas. I'm doing so many videos. I figured I'll allow myself this one booktube video about booktube as a treat. And part of the reason why I try not to make videos like this is because I think most of my audience, you're here to talk about books. However, maybe you're interested in starting a booktube channel. And also this tag is centered around your specific experience and it's not trying to make sweeping generalizations about booktube as a community. I think it's allowed this one time. If you are someone who's watching this and you maybe had just the tiniest inclination that you might want to do booktube, literally everyone who comments on my channel regularly or has commented on my channel ever, I think that everyone should have a booktube channel. It's so fun. I feel like if I have a booktube channel, I'm not the most well-read person. I'm not the most interesting person. I don't talk super well, and yet 4,000 people have chosen to follow me and watch my videos with some regularity. I don't get a lot of views, but I get a consistent amount of views on my channel. If I can do it, you can certainly do it. I know for a fact that there are so many people who follow this channel who are better read than I am. You should start a booktube channel. I think that this space would really benefit from more people talking about books, and I think the world would just benefit from more people talking about books on the internet. I think it's such a rare thing to be a reader these days. The more readers who put themselves out there and make videos and make content that's meaningful and good and not just like sort of brain rot video content, I think the world will be better for it. So that's my perspective. Let me stop waffling around and get to the questions. The first question is, do you feel obliged to read? The answer to this is yes. Now, the only person who I actually feel obliged to is myself. I have an innate feeling inside myself that I am a reader. I've talked about this before on the channel, but I started reading, when I was very young. I have always loved books. It's not even necessarily about entertainment for me. For me, reading is something that I do. I live, I breathe, I read. Like, it's just a part of my life. And I feel an obligation to myself to read as much as I can while I still can, while I have the time. This obligation especially comes up when I know that I am procrastinating or when I know that I am doom scrolling on the internet, and that I would feel so much more fulfilled if I used that time to read instead. And so I do feel an obligation to read, but it's really just to myself, and it's something that I feel like is innate to my personality and to my way of living. The next question is, numbers aren't everything. Agree? Disagree? This is an interesting question. I think at some point in your booktube career, in fact, very early on, as soon as you post your first video, the numbers demon enters your head. Enough time has passed since my first video that I don't remember exactly what my feelings were around numbers 5 years ago when I started posting. I do know that when I restarted my channel earlier this year, oh my god, it sucked so bad. I'm telling you, I would lose dozens of subscribers every single time I posted a new video, and that is a really shitty feeling. It felt like I was being stabbed in the stomach. Every single time I posted, I would lose 10, 12, 15 subscribers. And, seeing that number go down is really disheartening. The only thing that kept me going, that made me feel like you should still keep posting, was one, I got so many lovely comments from people who remembered my channel or had just discovered my channel from my new videos and left thoughtful, meaningful comments and, were responding to things I was saying in the video. And I feel like for every 10 subscribers I lost, if I got one comment from someone, I would be like, okay, this it was a worthy trade-off. Also, I knew intellectually that, when you restart a channel, you're making slightly different content. People are not vibing with your new vibe. I understood that I would eventually get past that and that it would turn itself around eventually. But that initial sick to the stomach feeling of posting and then losing subscribers really sucked. Basically, when that happened, I told myself that you need to create a mindset that is more dependent on your output versus people's reactions to your output. Like, you need to focus on things that are completely within your control. What can I control? I can control how many videos I post, and I can control, how I edit them and how I, present them, the thumbnail. All of these things are within my control. And so I told myself, give yourself 6 months to try this thing. And if after 6 months you're still feeling like really shitty every time you post and you're still losing subscribers, then drop this hobby. But obviously there was something that made me come back to making videos, and it was that feeling of creativity in coming up with an idea for a video, like the Robin Hobb video essay I did earlier this year. That was like an innate creative urge I had within myself, that I was like, I have this comparison I want to make of two of my favorite books, and I want to create this and say it the way that I want to say it, and just knowing that it exists and knowing that I said exactly what I wanted to say and that it is out in the world now and that it is something I can point to as just a concrete example of my thoughts, and that I created that. It makes me so happy. And just the fact that I created it at all was all I needed. And basically, when I adopted this more output-focused mindset, it really helped me appreciate the comments and the subscribers that I did get after that. I would post a video, and that would be my goal for the week, was not to gain 10 subscribers or not to hit a certain view mark, which, is completely out of my control. But my only goal was to post a video. And because I hit that goal, I achieved that goal, I felt an innate sense of fulfillment from that. And then any response or any views or any comments that I did get from that, I appreciated for what they were. If I got 5 comments, my thought process wasn't, oh, I just got 5 comments. Other YouTubers get like hundreds and hundreds of comments on their videos. I really appreciated those 5 comments for what they were. 5 people responding to something that I had said. And so this is a very long-winded way of saying that numbers aren't everything, obviously, but also that there are so many different numbers that you can look at as a YouTuber. Oftentimes, if I have a video that does really badly in terms of views, I still will look at like the average view duration, and it'll be like higher than normal. Maybe I got more comments on that video. For example, my last Vlogmas that I posted yesterday, it's like 9 out of 10 right now on my like ranked thing. Despite that, it got so many wonderful comments, which I'm very excited to respond to. By the way, I haven't responded to all of them yet, because it's just been a very long day at work, but I've been saving up like 30 minutes of my day where I'm going to sit down and respond to those comments, because I got so many. Even though that video is not doing well, the fact that I got so many comments makes it worth it. So there are different numbers you can look at as a YouTuber, and I've started doing that, where if it doesn't do well in terms of views, I'll look at something else, and usually it's positive. Do you feel pigeonholed? Do you feel you need to make content on certain things? I would say no. And part of this is being a small channel. I don't think that anyone really is like waiting on tenterhooks for my videos. Like, I know there are certain creators that I watch where I'm like excited for them to do certain kinds of videos. Like, I love like vloggers, and so I'm really excited when they make like a cozy vlog, a cozy reading vlog. I love watching those. So I know that feeling, and I know that certain audiences have that expectation of their the creators that they follow, but I just think that I'm too small to really have that sense of obligation or sense of pigeonholedness. Is that even a term? After my experience losing subscribers, when I restarted my channel, it's really girded my loins for anything. For example, I posted a video the other day about poetry and I lost 20 subscribers. And this is in my era of growth now. We've moved past the losing dozens of subscribers every time I post era. And now the channel did turn around. And so it was definitely worth it to keep posting. So anyways, when I lost so many subscribers, I was like, damn, you guys really don't like poetry. Like, it was just one video. So I don't know. I don't feel pigeonholed, and I will still make videos about poetry in the future, but that was just really interesting to see. The fourth question is, are you reading for the algorithm? Now, I find this question really fascinating for a variety of reasons. First of all, I would say no, I don't read for the algorithm. But second of all, I actually think it's quite hard to read for the algorithm. Like, there are books that are popular, but making a video about a popular book is not necessarily the best way to go viral or like the best way to grow your channel. Because I feel like I've made videos about popular books. Like, I remember I made some like Brandon Sanderson videos, and I actually don't think that those videos did any better than my other videos at that time. And like, my channel like 4 years ago got more views than my channel does now. If you could just read a certain prescribed set of books and like your channel would blow up, like, wouldn't everyone do that? I think it's a good idea if you're a booktuber to make a couple videos about books that are popular, and that way people find your channel. But my favorite booktubers are booktubers who read books that I've never heard of, and I go to them for discovery and to widen my reading tastes. This, like, the idea of reading for the algorithm is quite, like, does that actually exist? There's so many different niches of booktube as well. You could be reading for one kind of algorithm, I guess. I don't know. I think that the algorithm and the phrase the algorithm is part of the reason why booktube videos about booktube frustrate me, because no one knows what the algorithm is. Like, you could make a video about the most popular book ever and get like 5 views, or you can make a video about like a book no one's ever heard and your video will just randomly blow up. Like, it's not really a thing that is predictable. And the final question of this tag is, what is the worst part of content creation for books? And it's this. Me filming right now, I hate this part. I love coming up with ideas for videos. I have an endless well of ideas. I love editing. I love making the thumbnails. I love responding to comments. I just hate doing this right now. And you might be asking, why are you doing Vlogmas? Well, it's because I want to push past this feeling and I want to get better at filming. And sometimes the only way to get better at something is by doing it over and over. If you're someone who wants to start a YouTube channel, like, just start it. Your first videos are probably gonna suck. I know mine did. You're gonna get better. The thing with YouTube is the only real way to get better at making YouTube videos is to make YouTube videos. And so you have to be comfortable with being bad at something. Yeah, you'll get to a point where you're more comfortable on camera. I can already tell that doing Vlogmas, 4 days of this has been helpful. I feel like there's less of an activation energy from me sitting down to me actually recording a video, which is so helpful. I will say I love editing. It's just so interesting how I can take probably the worst ramble of all time and turn it into something that's semi-cohesive. I'm gonna do it with this video, do it with all my videos. It's really fun to edit videos. I love coming up with ideas, like my Robin Hobb video essay. That was an idea that I had been sitting on for years. I have so many other ideas for videos that I want to do, and I think that doing Vlogmas is actually like easier in a lot of ways, because I thought that the hardest part would be coming up with something to film every day, and so far it's actually been easy to come up with something to talk about. But the hard part is, after a long day of work, sitting down and making myself do this, that's been the hardest part, and that's always the hardest part. Even if I'm only making a video a week, I put it off till the last minute to film. Yeah, just start filming. Just start doing it. You'll get better. Your first video might suck. It might not, you might go viral. That happens. If you're watching this, your ideas are worth it. And we need more people to talk about books on the internet. So, for anyone following along with the self-care advent calendar, today's prompt is quite perfect because it is read by lamp. Read by lamp is what it says. That is what I'm going to go do. I'm going to respond to the comments from everyone on my last video. Again, thank you so much to everyone who's watching these. I was really worried that it was going to be another situation where I post a video and I lose like a bunch of subscribers, but some new people have subscribed, and people are commenting and are responding to my videos, which is something I always appreciate. But definitely the fact that I'm posting every day and people are still watching and still commenting, I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow.